My name is Sharon McLean. I once, used to write little rhymes and stuff like rapping, and so I went by the name Real. So that's what you can call me, because that's my person who I feel like, that's my alter ego. That's the person who, like, really spills the truth and can really put um, things that need to be said in her into perspective. So Real, that is me. That's who you're hearing from today. And I have to tell you, first and foremost, happy Juneteenth, everybody. Today is June 19th, 2020. Man, for some weeks now, I've been wanting to make a video and figure out something to say and how to say it about everything that's going on with the George Floyd situation, the police's, the brutality, the injustice, everything going on around us. It's overwhelming for me, especially being an empath. Like, it's very overwhelming. So I have so much to say, and I don't know how or when and what form to put it. But finally, y'all, I have reached a day where I'm like, okay, I'm going to report something. I need to be heard, and I want to be heard. I just want to share my opinion on everything. Everything that's happening around us and stuff. So, first I want to start with the Juneteenth. Today is Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. And I want to say, for myself, I feel ashamed because I really didn't know what Juneteenth, like the true meaning behind Juneteenth, prior to everything happening. And me doing my own research and kind of looking out and then seeing people talking about it. So thank you guys that were already aware of Juneteenth and knowledgeable of it and posting it and making us aware of it too, people like myself. So I did do my own research on it. So for those of you who don't know what today symbolizes, on June 19th, 1865, this day was the official day that ended slavery. Now, official day that ended slavery meaning 2 years after President Lincoln had signed, the law, had implemented the law. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed that day. 2 years. That day, the slaves were free. But 2 years later, all slaves were freed. And on this day, Major General Gordon Granger and troops, they arrived in Galveston to announce the war had ended and delivered General Order Number 3, which proclaimed that all slaves were free. Okay, so the sad part about that is, y'all, he came to tell us that the war was over. And that's the reason why we were free. Because the only way that we would get freed was if we fought and helped to win the war. So we was forced to join our enemies, the people who had enslaved us, the people, who had treated us so cruel, just for that opportunity of freedom. So had we not had won that war, like, the slavery may have never been over. Really touchy for me, because you guys don't understand. if you are out there questioning why we are walking and protesting and marching and saying that Black Lives Matter, it's because these are the things that we have dealt with since you guys took over everything that we knew, everything that we had, everything. You took our freedom for everything. A freedom of voice, a freedom of saying no when we did not want to be touched. Freedom of being tired when you worked us in the sun too long, picking cotton and tobacco in your fields, on your land that you took from us. Your land, we serving you. Nothing that had our name on it because we had no right, no knowledge of reading and writing, and you wonder why our children is struggling now. It's not because their parents don't do what they're supposed to do. You conditioned us in a way where we were not able to get those things. And no matter how people stand up and say, oh, this was 52 years ago, or this was this many amount of years ago, when Dr. Martin Luther King marched, as he marched, he took a stand. But that only got us an inch up. Just like what this day represents, Juneteenth. It only got us an inch up. You gave us freedom only because we helped you win the war. So what if we wouldn't have won that war? The general came to say that the war was over. We had won. That was for us, which what that meant to us was we were free. Because that was the promise that was promised to us. We would be free if we helped win the war. So we were soldiers long ago in the land that we helped you win. Did you know, guys, that today, Juneteenth, was intended to be celebrated on Black-owned land only? What opportunities have we been allowed to own that land? What opportunities? See, what you got to understand is, and this goes to, I'm going to implement some of my learning from early childhood education into this video because it makes sense to me. And this is like my connection that I'm making. So when you bring children up a certain type of way in a certain type of environment, they are conditioned, basically. There is a theory that they are conditioned based off of the experiences and their environments. Now, these environments include, number one, your home environment and school environments, anywhere where your child is, used to being in, or, and consistently. So, that child is going to be like a sponge, and it's going to absorb everything that it's seeing through observation and personal experiences. And I believe that that is so, which is why one thing that I know is that we need more funding for early childhood education, for more funding for the NC pre-K teachers. I noticed during this remote learning, a lot of people did not really, give a lot of praise to the teachers. Oh, you're learning from home, you're not on the front line. But Lord, if you knew some of the things that we had to do to stay connected with our families, you would have a little bit more, respect for all teachers that were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Learning from home was not maybe not the easiest things as you think it may have been, because for one, we were told to take all our curriculum material home. We took all that stuff home. These are the things we had to teach our kids with. The rest of the things that we used in our Zoom videos, in our videos that we posted, any types of interactions that we had with their children, we had to create. And I know for me, like, I've been teaching in early, childhood for about 10 years now. So, I'll be 30, June 23rd, next Tuesday, coming up. But I've been teaching early childhood for like the past 30 years. I started my very first job as a van monitor, and then moved to a floater, moved from that to working in an infant room, and splitting that time into the toddlers room. Next thing you know, I was a toddler teacher, 2-year-old teacher, 3-year-old teacher, 2 to 3s teaching. And then I had to finish school, had some things come up, so I took maybe a year or so off from teaching, and then I went to finish my associate's degree. Then I moved. I went through a phase of moving out and everything, moved into my own place, which I am still in like 7 years later. Thank God. So these are things to be thankful for, to give praises for. It's been a struggle, it's been a struggle, but I have been able to maintain and sustain and keep it over my child head and my head one way or another. So those things you wake up thankful for, and those things are reasons for you to stop all the bogus things that's going on out here in this world, these mindsets, these games that guys are playing with one another's, feelings and livelihood. It's not okay. And it gets to a point that when you're playing with lives and you're taking lives unjustly, then there's a serious problem. There is a serious problem. No matter what sacrifices that you were trying to make, you need to take it back to the Bible with Cain and Abel. He wanted to please the Lord. They both wanted to please the Lord. They both wanted to bring a sacrifice and prove that they were worthy or whatever. But one became jealous and enraged, and he took the life of his brother, took his gift to try to give to the Lord, but he already saw it, he already knew. So think about those things, guys. When you're doing ugly to get ahead, those sacrifices, those lives that you're sacrificing because they're not worthy, or you don't find them superior to you, that is absolutely wrong. It is not okay for you to do things like that. It is not okay. You have gotten away with it too long, and that's why today we are making the stands that Black Lives Matter. That's why the movement is important. For those people that, seek to be running for president in 2024 coming up, those peoples who have their minds, I won't say any names because it may be inappropriate, but I won't say no names, but look it up. The female people running for 2024 president, possibly, look it up. But those people who talk down on the George Floyd and say, no, they brought up his whole entire criminal record and put it on a video, and they were so serious. I will not make him a martyr. He is not a good person. He did this to a person, to a pregnant person, and to that person. But he hasn't been in trouble, in prison, or in jail for the last 5 years. But nevertheless, he was not a good person, So why did he become a hero overnight? It was said went from a criminal to a hero overnight. He is not a hero because of his criminal background, baby. His criminal background has nothing to do with the fact that he was killed. He was murdered in the streets with a knee to his neck for 9 minutes straight, ma'am. Get that straight, ma'am. You said that, I hope that his family receives justice. And I'm not on the side of the cop, but I'm just saying, basically, honey, it is not about being on the side of a cop. It is not just about his family receiving justice. But you can't say that and mean that with bringing up their child or their brother or their uncles or their dads, whoever he was important and significant to in his lifetime on this earth. You can't say that you hope they get justice while bringing up that man's criminal background. Wait, he's been clean 5 years though. Like, he hasn't went to jail for 5 years though. But before that, he was a hoodlum basically. He was a hoodlum. That's what you're saying. So wait, that meant he needed to die? How about you build more programs out here in these streets to educate those men who have been lost along the way, the ones who grew up without a father? Because guess what? It started a long time ago. A lot of people don't think about this far back, and I don't know who does and who doesn't, but I do. I think about this. What about a long time ago when our brothers, our children grew up without a father because their father went to go seek freedom, to get their family to freedom, so they wouldn't have to endure the abuse that they were going through, the labor that they were going through, you know? Knowing that his wife had been raped or his child may be next. He left, he fled, he tried to find freedom, but guess what? He was found, he was hanged, he was leached, he was whatever they did to him. He was shot down, gunned down. So this started a long time ago, and these men became absent in these children's lives. So the role model of a father was taken from them. Nobody has ever thought about it from that perspective, but I have, because Real speaks the truth, and I'm going to say what I feel, and this is what I feel. It goes back to what you took us through. So I heard somebody say, we never got an apology. We never got an apology. We didn't. Because all you guys want to do is give us bits and pieces to snag on, enough to survive on. I spoke this in a video before where I called in, and when I called in, I couldn't get my words together, so I kind of stumbled over, and they kind of was like dismissive, like, nah, but no, let's go back to this. There should be no reason for that. So I'm like, let me clarify. Mistake. My bad, people. I was trying to get my foot. It was going numb. But anyways, so let's go back to that. What I said was that we were conditioned in that video. I said we were conditioned because we didn't have, let me remember what I said. Excuse me, let me get my thoughts together. But no, I said in the video, in the phone call, I said, we don't own things because, and speaking of black, I'm saying black people, we don't own things because, we were conditioned not to own things. I said it goes back to the slavery days. Because if you think about it, it is a known and proven fact that children thrive, not thrive, but how they come up, their environment has a total impact on that. Speaking back to early childhood. This is why we need more funding. Again, I state this because I'm not just standing for one cause. I'm standing for a cluster of causes that I hold very deep to my heart. So guys, you need to start looking into this. Your child's early development is important. Even from a baby, that stimulus is important. Those children need those hellos, and we're not speaking to them in goo goo gagas. But guess where the goo goo gagas come from? We spoke to them how we knew to speak to them because we didn't even know words, because we couldn't even read books. How about that? So that trickled down the line. There was those that were eager to say, I need to go further than this. And they did. Those were the Frederick Douglass. As that person who brought up the record of George, Floyd, just to say that he doesn't deserve to be a turned into a hero from a criminal overnight. She was saying, like, speaking important names out there, people who've done really good things. And I do agree those people have done good things. But those were the people who had a little bit more strength in them to keep going. But everybody didn't have that. We had the strength to survive. A lot of us just had enough strength to survive. Baby, that's all I got, is enough strength to survive. I'm telling you, no matter how much I push myself, it is just enough to get by these days because of all these discriminations that you guys are inflicting upon us. First of all, let's talk about the fact that I already have odds against me because I am a female. Now add black female on top of that. That makes it even, time double the reason why I might not be capable of getting a job. No matter if I got a bachelor's degree, which I do. No matter if I got a master's degree, which I'm going for. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, I'm climbing, and it's bit by piece, by piece, by piece. Guess what? That goes back to exactly what I said that you have done to us. You've given us bit by piece, by piece, by piece, a little bit, by a little bit, by a little bit. And each time a Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks has come through, it has gotten us, guess what? A little bit more of the way closer. But we can't never get there to the point where you guys really, what I teach my daughter every single day, accountable. When is the time where you guys are going to be accountable? Whatever we are, or whatever we're going through, guess what? Half of that, you created. We are our ancestors. We do come from them. So for those ancestors that said, I want to stay, I ain't going to try to run, I'm not going to be rebellious, I'll take the beatings and the lashes just to make sure that I can watch over my child. Why do you think now there's that domestic violence where I take the beatings, my children getting this paid for? I heard my grandma say that she was with one of her fathers of her children because he took care of her kids. She had 7 kids. She was a country girl. And she came to the city for a better life. Everybody moving for a better life. Come in here. Come in here. The Mexicans, you want to build up a wall against them for what? Because they come in here for a better life? Excuse the hell out of them, excuse my French, for being hustlers. They doing what they gotta do to survive. To survive. Everybody out here trying to survive. And your tactics are screwed all the way up. Because y'all are playing dirty. You're taking lives, and it's not okay. You're taking brothers that look like me. You're taking sisters that look like me. You are here to serve and protect. The police brutality, there has to be an end to it now. Today, not tomorrow, no, yesterday. It has to be an end to it. It is not okay. Guess what? Here's some more statistics. Here's some statistics for you though. Because, oh girl, I'm not saying no names. She said, black people, and I quote, black people are only 13% of the population. Correct? But we account for 50% of the violence and criminal acts. Okay. Well, let me give you some statistics, baby girl. Did you know that we also account for 50% of wrongfully accused murders? These are people who did the time, who had to sit for years in jail before they could even get to trial, and then was sentenced to prison and did time. Some of these people lost their lives before they were exonerated, baby. 50% of murders. So that 50% of criminal acts, how accurate do you really think it is? I mean, for real, how accurate do you really think it is? Because accuracy is not really, it's nothing accurate. Because of those 50, those are the people that they know of. What about the people who didn't get a who's never been brought back up? What about the people that's 10 years from now gonna get exonerated and say, oh, guess what? This person didn't kill that white girl. Or this person didn't rape that white lady. Or this person didn't do it. How more people? How many more people? How many more people? Hold on, wait a minute. Also, 65%, we represent, black people, that 13% population represent 65% of wrongfully accused rapes. Those are the people who haven't. Guess what? That's not counting the people who have. Those are not counting the people who have not seen their day where they say you didn't do it and they did it. Guess what? Half of the numbers that you counted are people who were wrongfully tricked into saying they did it at a chance and a hope that they're going to see their family again. You ever heard of a plea bargain? That's what the freak that is. A plea bargain. If you say you did it, if you admit to saying you did it, this is not to say you did it or you didn't do it. This is to say you might have a chance. So what about all those people that took those plea bargains, who now have a criminal record, who now have a felony on their names, saying they did something terrible, a terrible crime that they did not commit, just for the hopes of seeing their family again because they were not represented correctly? Guess why? They don't have the money. Because every penny went into their family trying to survive. Because you give us enough just to get by. These lousy pay rates. Come on now. These minimum wages, ridiculous. Do better and we can be better. You owe us that. And that's what we're saying. We're not saying hand us nothing out on a platter. We're saying give us an equal opportunity. If you're making $300,000 a year, $100,000 a year, you can afford the health care that's going to cover you to go to the doctor every month. But if you're only making $10 an hour, $9.50 an hour, you can't afford that health care to go to the doctor every month. You want to keep pandemics like the COVID-19 now? Give us health care rights. Put some affordable, good payments. The doctors that's going to look at you and really assess you and test you, and you're not getting charges and bills that's going on your credit, that's keeping you down. It's ridiculous. The girl in the video, she said, we are living a narrative. Black people want to have a reason to be black. The narrative is, a long time ago, black people had nothing. Today, some black people have something. We are all looking for that opportunity. And it is not fair for you to keep handing us bits and pieces and then snatching them away from us whenever you please. You do not have a right to say whether we live or we die. We have an equal right to go to court and have a real representation. Stop incarcerating these men. If it's mental help they need, to create more facilities, not where you're drugging them up and keeping them down. Get down to the root of the problem. Want to stop creating these problems? Put more funding into early childhood. Children need to learn social, emotional development. Children need to be subjected to cognitive skills. Children need to hear language and literacy. They need to see language and literacy. And if their families, the minorities are stuck trying to survive, what kind of time do you think we have to put into that? Is it because we want to? It's not. I have made the time to put into my child from day one. But I made it a priority. Because one thing my father always instilled in me was my freedom to education. He told me never to stop, never to give up. And you need to invest more in our education. My stance is all blacks matter. But at this day and at this time, when you were shooting down, gunning down, necking down, kneeing down, dragging our people, Black Lives Matter. And you need to make the change.